So the fab work continues this week. We put the rear spoiler on. We'll show you that. And we added to the roof. We made the body lines smooth. As you can see, they come down. Everything looks nice and good. And we had a little extra time today because it was a rain day. The show we do on Saturday nights rained out. And we're able to build a roll bar. Hi, and welcome to Mike's Custom Garage. Hey guys, today's a rainy day. We had to move a couple things around. We had to put the frame that was in this bay here in the garage over here. The frame is in there, the cord is in the garage, and we're gonna have to deal with the rain today. So we moved around, we got a little late start. It's 10 o'clock instead of 9, usually when I start, and we're going to do the best we can to address a few things. Let me show you what we're going to do today. Today we're going to address the back. We have a spoiler to put on here. So we get the spoiler mounted on this. We're going to address the back of the roof and how to get this to look the way I want, to come down and meet up with the side panels. So we're going to address those today. We'll see how far we get. If we have time, we'll start looking at how to build the roll bar for this and get a roll bar put in. So one step at a time. For now, let's get the spoiler put on. Let's get this roof looking good. We'll make some pieces to put in here so that this flows up the way I want it to, up to the roof. We're going to get a little bit of a turn and then across. So let's get to it. We'll set you up and we'll start with the spoiler first. Okay, so here's the spoiler I bought. It's a factory spoiler for this model. It's gonna fit approximately there. So the first thing we need to do is turn it over. We have these little straps. They go in the holes. And put a little piece of tape on them, just holding it on. And then the same on this side. Now I'm going to grab my bigger tape. What I will do now is position this where I want it. And I want it as close to the edge as possible. So that's where it's going to be. Make sure it's exactly where you want it to be, because once you've done it, that's it, it's done. Just to the edge on both sides. So what I'm going to do now is tape those strips down. Double check my fitment again and tape them down. a little bit of the back side, so I'll take that one too. I can't see those, so okay. So we'll double check again. Get nice along here. It's very close to here. Same here and here. Now I should be able to pull this up, and that'll give me the markings where the holes need to be for the bolts. I'm going to tape this side down. And this side down. Then I'm going to refit to make sure that it's still where it belongs. It's better to check twice than to drill a hole in the wrong spot. Okay, now what it calls for is to drill the center of this with a 3/32 drill bit. Mine's a little bigger, I didn't have one that size. Do that on all 4 holes. Now I've got my holes marked on both sides. Take the strips back off. Now they want a 9/32. Okay, so they want 9/32 now in the second one. Again, didn't quite have a 9/32. I got a 1/4 inch. That's 8/32. So it may be a little smaller. I can just round it by going around in a circle. Now, if you're doing this on a car that has not going to get painted later, be careful not to go through and hit the inside like I just did. But this is all going to get painted later. I'm not really worried about it. Also, you want to make sure you put some primer in these so they don't rust. Usually I put a coat of primer, put a coat of paint on the inside. Again, this is gonna get painted later, so we're not worried. Now here's an adhesive pad that goes on the bottom. That'll get stuck onto there, and that'll make sure that you got a good seal and hopefully keep some of the water out. I go grab some alcohol, wipe these things down with alcohol, make sure it's good and clean. Then you can stick them on. I may wait till after I paint it. Paint everything first, then put the seals on. So maybe now we'll just bolt this thing on the way it is, and that'll be it for this. We're gonna cut our tack welds off so we get this on. Now these are just snug. Now there you go. There's the spoiler bolt on. Comes with a third brake light. We're not going to touch that right now. We're going to get it painted first, then we'll worry about putting the third brake light on. So for now, it's on there. What we'll do now is cut the trunk lid to match the contour of the spoiler. So pretty easily, just take my marker and run a straight line across. Now we'll take the spoiler back off and we will cut the trunk lid. We'll cut it just over the line, and I can grind it back to whatever I want from there. What we'll do is take the outer skin off and then decide where to cut the inner so it'll meet up the best it can. See if I can show you what I've done. So, got a rough cut. I'm going to take a roll lock now and clean up the edges so there's no sharp edges on it. I'm going to let this stay like this for now. We will come back and fill in these areas and decide where the latch is going to go to open the doors and all other stuff later. But for now, we'll just clean it up and put the spoiler on, and this will be good for this. Then we can move on to doing the roof. So we're going to clean this up and then we're going to put it on. Okay, there you go. Say a third brake light I'll put in later. Looks good. Gives that a little bit more than I wanted. Flows nice with the body. It's the factory spoiler, so it's got that contour coming off the quarters right to it. Yep. Okay. we are good with this. I'll have to move the tack welds over to the sides here because that's too close to be tack welding it, so we're not going to do that. We'll tack weld it here on both sides, and that's where this will stay until we're ready to work on it some more. How it looks from here, as you can see, it kind of follows the body line. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, that's gonna look good. We'll put some stuff in here. We'll strengthen this up. I'll probably put some square stock in there and come around the whole thing and give it something for strength. But yeah, that's that. Now we're gonna jump up to the roof and start working on that. Hey, so what I've done is I've stuck the old roof on. That's going to give me a nice bow across the back. It's also going to make it so that this piece can come up to it. What I'll do is I'll take the pieces I've cut out and I'll put them back in and cut it to match. But that's kind of the look I'm looking for. It comes back a little bit further, and there'll be plenty of room in here to put a back window, because that's what I'm going to need to do. I need to make sure I have enough room, can you get back off this a little bit, make sure I have enough room to put a back window in here. So we're going to mock up some stuff, gonna get some ideas of how far it needs to go back, and then we'll come right back. Okay, so what I've done is I put a bar across to kind of give me an idea where the back will be. And up here I got about 2 inches out, which will give me the body line from here to here where I want it to be. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark it underneath there. I'm gonna cut that, and then we're gonna be able to tack weld it on and get it where I want it to be. So that's what we're gonna do now. So we'll set you up, and we'll start cutting. We'll cut this up and then see where we go from there. So we're going to tack it and see what we have first, then decide what we have to do with it from there. All right, we've cleaned up the back panel. I cleared up a little spot on there. I covered the interior, the roof, the glass. This here is fireproof. Blanket, not so much, but it is what it is. So we'll try to at least keep some of the interior from getting burned. And we're going to tack it on this side. I'm going to see how much more I need, and I'll probably end up doing is cutting it in the middle and extending it on both ways. So let's get this. So let's get you set up, and we'll start tacking this in place. Okay, so it's tacked on. It looks pretty good. I had to do is I had to drop it down on the edges here just to get it to flow across the top okay. Now what we gotta do is come from here to here. So we're gonna hammer and dolly this corner out where I want it. Probably cut this edge here off to get a better look. And then we gotta figure out how we're gonna bring it down and over. So not too bad. So I'm gonna get some tools together here, and then we're gonna come back and start getting this stuff fixed up and cleaned up. And we're gonna start putting things back together. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, this is the piece I cut off of the car. I'm gonna put it back on, and I'm gonna cut it where I want it to be. So that's why we save everything. You never know what you're gonna need again. All right, so as you can see, I just tack welded on each end. Let's get you a little further back. There we go. And what we'll do now is cut it across from there to here. We'll weld this back up and we'll put an edge on this. So I'm gonna clean this first, get it down so I can tuck it in, get this flat, hammer and dolly it, get exactly where I want the cut, and then we're gonna cut that off. I'm gonna put a piece of tape across that so I can follow it and give me a good line. Okay, as you can see, I put that piece back in, and now it flows nicely into the roof panel. So I think it's a little grinding right in here. See, it comes out a little bit. We'll grind that in, and it'll make it a little bit rounder, and this side will be done. We'll do the same thing to the other side. There's a lot of pipes there, but the one we gotta care about is the roll bar. Phone was about dead, so I put it on charge. Let it charge up. While it did, I bent some pipe, and we built this roll bar here. Still gotta weld it on the ends here and here, but the rest of it's bent and fits the car. See, I'm definitely no professional pipe bender yet, but I'm definitely getting better at it. So anything you do, you just keep practicing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the car. I'm going to make sure the center pipe is level, and we're going to weld it on. I also want to put some plates on the bottom and weld them in. So I think first thing I'll do is I'll make the plate for this, and then we'll put it in the car. We'll put that piece in and weld it in. So let's get the plates fixed first, then we'll come back. So what I've done is put a plate in right there, both sides. Now we're going to put the roll bar in. Okay, we'll set you up right here, and we'll get that roll bar put in. Now, this is a tight fit. Literally wiggle it back and forth, get it in. But yeah, it's tight. What I'll do is I'll put this square stuff I have in to hold it in place. So what I've done is put a clamp on both sides of the square tube so it can't move. It's not going to go anywhere. This bar is tight to this bar. And now what I do is I check this way across the door for level, and I'll make sure that the bar is 90 degrees to the way the body's sitting. Because the body could be tilted a little one way or the other, and if I put the bar straight up to ground, it may not be straight to the car. So I check the level off the car, I set that, now I'm going to set the level. It's got a little level here, and put it on this edge, and hit 0. That zeroes the plane going this way, so when I put the plane this way, I put it on the bar, I can move it back and forth. So we're gonna get inside and see where we're at. Okay, so the bar's in, level, and looks good. What I'm gonna do now is pull the square tube out, pull the bar back out now, weld it up complete, and then we'll put it back in the car, and then we'll weld it down to the floor of the car. And then it ain't going anywhere. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna get everything welded up solid. I welded it up and now it's ready to get put on. I also painted it, so. Let's get that roll bar in there. I'll show you what we got. There you go. Painted it black. Now we gotta try stuff it in. Now, this is a tight fit. Okay, so there you have it. We're not going to weld it in yet. That'll be next week's project. We'll get the thing welded into the floor. This side and that side. And we'll start working on getting a back put in for this, in the back window and structurals along the body. So there's still a little bit more to do structural wise, but first step's getting the roll bar in. So for now, that'll do. Okay, so that'll be it for this video. Again, thank you for watching. Hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. I really appreciate them all. I answer all the comments. I read them all. Maybe one day there'll be too many I won't be able to, but for now, we definitely can get back to you. But that's going to be it for this one, and we'll catch you on the next one.